Hi everyone, I'm Charity Cortez, and I'm the one that has been on the Classical Conversations and NCAA site giving my 2 cents worth. So I thought, since there were so many people who were reaching out, I will just do a video and take it for what it's worth. So, disclaimer, I am not a recruiter, I'm not a coach, I'm just a mom who homeschooled, and thankfully the Lord has given my son Ethan the opportunity to go on and play baseball in college, and it is quite the journey to get there. So I can just offer you what we did, and hopefully this is going to be a springboard for you if you have any questions, that you can at least know where to start, or who to look to help you on this journey. We've all got to stick together in this, because this is not easy. And let's be honest, they put in the work in the batting cages and in on the pitching mound, but we're the ones, the moms behind the scenes, really doing the dirty work. And yeah. So first, I would recommend a book from a lady that does not know me, so I do not get a stipend for doing her product, but it is called Looking for a Full Ride by Renee Lopez, and you can get it on reneelopezcoaching.com. It's like $30 some for the book. It is not on Amazon, so you have to go to her personal website to order it. A friend of ours gave it to us when Ethan was a freshman, and said, you have to read this book, it's amazing, and it really was. And anything that I say isn't because we came up with it. We're not that smart. We just had really good wisdom from resources like this that we used. And so I would highly, highly, highly recommend buy this book. It's worth the money. You read it and have your athlete read it and mark pages and highlight and just follow it, because it worked for us. It worked for our friends who are also being recruited. And it also is right in line with any of the recruiting seminars that we've done as we've visited colleges and done things over the past 4 years. So get her book, Renee Lopez, Full Ride. Other than that, Ethan's freshman year was COVID year, so things were a little odd. We didn't have a spring baseball season, but being from the Midwest, things were a little more lax, so we did play in the summer, and we played in the fall of 2020, so we were thankful for that. And in the fall of 2020, his travel team put us in some really good positions to meet with college coaches and have them talk to us about what they were looking for. And I'll share just some of the things that they said that we did. Number one was that they need to have a social media presence online that is business. So I know as homeschoolers, we're like, no, we don't want them on social media. This is for business. They need a big boy email account that doesn't sound like it's from middle school. And they need a Twitter and an Instagram and a YouTube channel that is only for their sport. In our case, it's baseball. Only baseball. We're not retweeting funny things. We're not getting political. You're not letting others comment weird stuff on your page, so they have to be mature to check it and be diligent. And there were some rather worldly bots that got on some of Ethan's Twitter at the beginning that we had to keep blocking. And but that's just a part of it. So that is just a business Twitter, email, Instagram, just for getting college recruiters to look at you. You upload your video. You upload maybe a video resume of who you are and what you're doing. So that would be the first thing. The second thing that we did is we did do travel ball. It is not a necessity. I'm not saying that it is. However, there is a difference between the competitiveness that Ethan faced in travel ball compared to what he has faced in high school ball. The average, pitching velocity that he has been up against, at least the past 2 summers, is in the 80s and sometimes in the 90s. We play high school ball, and that is not always the case. It could be 60s to 70s to 80s. So there's a difference, and you want to be used to competing at a higher level. So if you're in a part of the country that has really high-level high school ball, maybe you don't have to do that, but we found that it was good to travel across the U.S. and see different teams and it's amazing how teams from the East Coast differ from teams in the Midwest and their strategies and, how they thought of the game. It was, you would think, well, baseball's baseball, but there's definitely some differences. And if your son wants to play at a certain part of the country, then they probably need to go to that part of the country and play in some tournaments. So we also, Ethan had a PG and PBR recruiting profile. So if you go to any of their showcases, they will do your bat velocity and your pitching stats and things, and they will put it up there, and then you are able to use that and send your link to any college that you want. He didn't do a whole lot of those, but we did do some, especially his freshman and sophomore year, because we wanted him to be used to the pressure. He needed to see, what he was up against, Thirdly, his junior year, we, thanks to the book that I previously mentioned, we were on him to make sure that he was sending out emails, and tagging programs on his Instagram and Twitter that he was interested in. And he did 30 D1 schools, 30 D2 schools, 30 D3 schools, NAIA, and JUCO. Yes, we did all of those. And he screamed and kicked the entire way. But he did do it. And if you would ask him now, as he's entering in his freshman year of college, what advice he would give, he would actually say, I should have done more emails and not thought about it, because that was the right thing to do. Introductory email. My name is Ethan Cortez. I am a crafty left-hand pitcher. I throw in the mid-80s. I have a curveball of, whatever weird number that they do when they clock you and stuff, what your drop is. If you're a catcher, this is my pop-up time. This is my spin rate. Whatever your position is, give a quick little introduction, sell yourself. This is where homeschoolers, especially those who have done speech and debate, should be fairly good at rhetoric and persuasive speaking. And then he would do a 2-minute, no more than that, clip of his best video that was recent. And then he would do a follow-up email. And if there was no bites from that, then we moved on to the people that were biting. And then we would send another big cluster of emails. And then we started doing school visits his junior year. So we went to prospect camps for schools that he was really interested in. Disclaimer, some of those are money grabs. If there are more than 30 kids per position at some of these camps, they're just probably not worth your time. If there's, 30 to 40 kids total at the camp, then that could be worth your while, we have found, because they're going to be noticed a little bit more. So especially junior year, we did a lot of those camps. After we met with these coaches and did a camp, he sent not only a thank you email, but he also did a handwritten thank you note and sent it to the coach. And I feel like that was fruitful. So we had some comments about, hey, I really appreciate that you took the time to send us something in the mail, because most kids wouldn't. Now, moms, sometimes they were not written as neatly or as grammatically correct as I would have liked, but it was important that he did them on his own. And we had a recruiting seminar between his sophomore and junior year when we were at Coastal Carolina for a combine type week. And one of the things that coach told us was he can spot a mom or dad email and he doesn't read them because he wants to hear from the kid. He does not want to hear from us. So this needs to be, of course, we're behind driving the whip, but it needs to be led by the athletes when they do this stuff. Talking of video, we were also given some really good advice on what a coach is looking for. If it's over 2 minutes, they're not going to watch it. From a pitcher standpoint, which is what we are, he's a PO, so they wanted to see video from behind the plate, from the side, from the back, so they could, and I'm sure it's like that for really any position, and they wanted video of him just in a cage, so they could kind of break down like what he's doing, and then they would also like video of a live game of sequence. Okay, does he know what to pitch according to where they are in the count? I'm assuming that would be the same for a batter. Do you know what you would do? How do you respond if you're, behind in the count? What would you do? So pick your very best, of course, and make a video clip. And I know that his top 4 schools that he was really interested in, he would send video literally every 3 weeks to keep his name in front of them. And I feel like, he did at least have some options when it came down, because I think maybe he was persistent. The other thing that I would say with video is, it doesn't have to be top quality. Just use your iPhone and use iMovie, and that's what he used to upload his stuff. It wasn't anything, grand. We would put the GoPro on the fence if he was in a game, but, other than that, we did not buy any fancy equipment to do that, so. I think that we need to be realistic, though, in this age of COVID, post-COVID. Ethan really wanted to play D1. He still wants to play D1. That's his dream, and we're not, we're realistic, but we're definitely not saying that he can't do that. However, we have found that if you want to play D1, unless you are the absolute stud, and you are up there at the very top of the perfect game young prospects list of 2023, you are probably not going to go D1 right out of your freshman year. Probably not D2. You are probably not going to have the same issue we found with NAIA or D3 or JUCO, but D1 and D2, they are heavily recruiting from junior colleges. The transfer portal is real, and we have fifth year eligibility going on, and that's the nature of the beast. So when Ethan got his Dear John email from the dream school that he really, really thought that he was going to go to in February, and he was just absolutely crushed. His pitching coach, I'm very thankful for, told him, he's actually been telling him since his freshman year, you need to go JUCO, you need to go JUCO because you are going to get to play for 2 years. And you're going to get experience. You're not going to be sitting the bench. If you do go D1 or D2, you're going to be sitting the bench until your junior year. That's just how it is. So these junior college players, they're getting, like let's say a pitcher, he's going to get 30 games under his belt more than likely as he transfers his junior year. So that is what he ultimately decided to do. NAIA, there was some really good prospects that we looked at when it came down to, making a decision. Then it came down to what the best scholarship money was for it, and that's what we went with. So I hope that that's a little bit of help in what we did, just at least a brief overview of the process. We got him on social media that was just for baseball. We got him doing emails and video consistently just for baseball, keeping up with that. I will say that there were coaches that contacted Ethan through DM on Instagram and Twitter that they never contacted me or his dad. It was through those outlets. I saw your video. Hey, let's chat. So that's why it's really important that they get that on there. Use your freshman and sophomore year to practice doing it. Uploading, you're getting used to it. No one's going to probably be watching it till your junior year. I mean, let's be real, except, your baseball buddies. But get them on there doing it and practicing how to do it and making their craft and, using their persuasive skills when they send those emails about, selling themselves. It's not the time to be humble. It's the time to be confident and know what you offer and know what that program needs and how you can come in and meet that need. And of course, as homeschoolers, hopefully discipline, academic achievement, diligence should be one of the things that we tout because that's something that we do excel in or should. And, the coaches should not have to worry that you are going to flunk out because you're partying. Never say never, but that's the hope. So I hope that works. If you need anything, please, contact me on Facebook, Charity Cortez. I'm on the CC site, NCAA and CC site, and or Mrs. Cortez CC at Gmail. We can chat. We can FaceTime. It's kind of weird this summer because Ethan is not traveling. We are doing things to get ready for when he reports to the team the first week of August for college. So we're getting some dorm things. It's bizarre that I'm not doing tournaments every weekend, but we're getting ready to step into this new season. He's living his dream, and it's been a pleasure that we get to, walk along with him and see what God does with him and the opportunities that he's been given. And I know that the same is going to be for you. You know, God's got the perfect spot for your son or daughter, whatever sport that they're doing. It's going to be great. And you know what? God will provide everything that they need, every lesson, every tournament fee, every package that they need to buy. You know, God's going to provide. I firmly believe that, you know, where he leads, he provides. So I hope this has been a blessing to you. Hope it helps. If you need anything, give me a shout out. Bye.